So, as you may or may not know, yesterday, oh yes, by the way, normal service has been resumed. We had a interesting day yesterday because the deal apparently had been announced. However, all was not well in Theresa May land. So this comes from The Independent, literally hot off the presses, a mere 16 hours ago. The government forced to publish secret legal advice after humiliating Commons defeat. Conservative MPs forced to abstain rather than risk defeat from an unlikely alliance of Labour, Tory Brexiteers and the Democratic Unionist Party, the DUP. Oh dear, oh dear. So the government will be forced to publish secret legal advice around its Brexit blueprint after cross-party MPs inflict a humiliating defeat on the Prime Minister. MPs banked a binding motion that obliges the government to share the Attorney General's Godfrey Cox's guidance on the draft withdrawal agreement with Brussels, including the backstop plan to prevent a hard border in Ireland. Ministers had hoped to keep the details under wraps, offering MPs a summary of the opinion from lawyers, but Labour argued that the Parliament must have all the facts before it can endorse Theresa May's plan. It comes as Downing Street confirmed a draft agreement had been reached with Brussels, which will be discussed at an emergency cabinet meeting on Wednesday, which is today. David Linden, the Prime Minister's de facto deputy, tried to stave off defeat by saying the government would lay out its position before MPs vote on the final deal, but Conservative MPs were then forced to abstain on the motion rather than risk defeat from an unlikely alliance of Labour, Tory Brexiteers and the DUP, which props up May's government. DUP spokesman Sammy Wilson said the party would have voted with Labour, adding, "If we're going to make a decision on this, it is the most important decision that we should know the full implementations. It should not be spelt out to it should be spelt out to the public. The people of Northern Ireland and the people of the UK should know that the government what is the government binding you to an arrangement which may be impossible to get out of collectively or just for the people of Northern Ireland." Labour sought to use the arcane parliamentary device called a humble address to access the advice, which was previously used to uncover a string of damaging Brexit impact assessments. Shadow Brexiteer Sir Carl Stanmer said, "It is a critical stage. MPs cannot be kept in the dark, nor do we want to risk Parliament being bound to a decision without having all the facts available. Ministers should be able to accept this motion and allow MPs to have an informed debate about the UK's future relationship with the EU after Brexit." Tory Brexiteers from the 60-strong European Research Group also launched its own motion to secure the advice, as many Eurosceptics MPs fear that being bound into a deal that maintains close ties with Brussels. The rival bid was not selected, so the ERG's MPs vowed to abstain on Labour's motion, significantly bolstering their cause. Mr. Linden conceded making available to all members of the House following the conclusion of negotiations and ahead of the meaningful vote a full reasoned position statement laying out the government's both political and also legal position on the proposed withdrawal agreement, as well as that includes any protocols that might be attached to it. So there is now probably going to be this secret legal advice from the Attorney General that has been kept secret that is now going to again come out. So they lost, the government lost this vote, so now they must now publish this advice. So when that advice comes out, that's going to be highly interesting as well. So watch out for that as well.